Revolution is an intoxicating theory. Its reality is tragic. Zimbabwe Rhodesia is now a land of refugees. Not just a few thousand well-publicized whites, but well over 250,000 blacks have fled the country, and most of them have gone to Mozambique. Neither ZANU nor the impoverished Mozambicans can cope. Despite growing aid from the United Nations and the World Council of Churches, there's precious little medicine and hardly any food. The result is pitiful. Many of these families have fled here simply to escape the fighting. Many more have made the dangerous journey to escape from the guarded corrals, which the Salisbury regime calls protected villages, but which some of the refugees describe as open prisons. But they're not always safe, even here. Just after dawn on the 23rd of November 1977, Rhodesian paratroops began an attack on 2 camps near Chimoio and Nyadzonia in Mozambique, described as terrorist bases. According to the UN, at one camp, there were no combatants, only refugees.
Planes came in the morning and carried out such massacres, dropped paratroopers, who then as ground force ringed this camp, these 2 camps. And as these youngsters started running in all directions, they were bayoneted. I'll never forget the sight of the little kids at the school where the bombs were dropped with their pencils and paper outside and the little bodies scattered everywhere. It was so brutish, it was incredible. They killed the sick, dragging them from ambulances and beheading them. You see, to this day, we have not attacked one white school in the country. Not because those kids are defended. We have not attacked one white hospital in the country, when we are absolutely certain everyone sick in there is white. Princess Margaret Hospital, we could hit it tomorrow. We said no, it's barbaric, it doesn't belong to the 20th century, that's not the way you fight a war. If 400 children were killed in London or in New York, it would be a story never to forget. It would be everywhere. But no, it wasn't given any publicity at all abroad. It was just, you know, maybe because it's black kids. Maybe it's black women.
Can your enemies today become your friends, your allies, your fellow countrymen tomorrow, or will there be a period of revenge and recrimination?
This question has been asked before, and I think what people would want to know is whether those who have committed genocide and massacres will become our friends tomorrow. I don't know what the Allies would have answered if a similar question had been asked in 1945, 1946, whether Hitler and Mussolini would become the allies of Churchill and Roosevelt. Our answer is that those who are architects of this genocide and massacres surely must, on the basis of moral and legal principles, be brought to trial. But this does not mean that the followers, the ordinary person, must be tried. Those who have hatched the plan, the treason, as a result of which massacres of all kinds have been perpetrated against our people and against the people of Mozambique, people of Zambia, Angola and Botswana, surely must be brought to book for their crimes.
Would that include Bishop Muzorewa?
Bishop Muzorewa is a mere puppet, an unwitting puppet for that matter. And just now he claims he has power, but we know he hasn't got that power. We have appealed to him to reverse his stand and correct the stance he has adopted so far.
So he could remain free as a Democrat in opposition to you?
Sure, he could, as long as he's prepared not to continue, you see, upholding the evil system there is. I suppose this conference gives him a chance to say his repentance and ask for forgiveness of his sins.
The Rhodesians claim to have killed well over 10,000 terrorists in this war. It's hard to tell how many were innocent civilians, but there's no doubt ZANU combatants have suffered badly too. You stepped on a mine?
Yes.
And what happened to you?
Because I lost my leg. I just felt disappointed, but then after that, I knew the war was going to continue, and I knew that was going to make Zimbabwe free. Because in a fight, you've got to die and you've got to be injured.
Are you still pleased that you joined ZANU?
ZANU is the only party you see which I found to be the only party that can fight imperialism until to the end.
ZANU's headquarters in Maputo. A parcel bomb sent here through the post.
The bomb blew up the door that side and cracked the wall right out to the other end.
What happened to them?
He died within a few moments of reaching hospital. His entire leg, the intestines and the chest all cracked up. And 4 other young comrades were injured.
Hello, yes, this is ZANU headquarters.
ZANU is run rather inefficiently by unpaid volunteers on a shoestring budget from what's little more than a council flat in a residential block. From here, not only is the war directed, but plans are being made for a future Mugabe government. The dominant ideological influence is clearly Chinese, but ZANU insists it's completely non-aligned. In fact, much of its literature is Western, some of it critical of orthodox socialist systems. A good deal of ZANU's financial backing comes from the West as well, and many of its personnel are undergoing civilian training in the West. ZANU depends on handouts, so there are frequent fundraising tours to America and Europe.
We gather that Christian Aid in Britain is going to allow us £20,000. We got promises from Oxfam. War on One promised to give educational and medical help in the past.
The government, how is that? Did you tackle them?
Yes, we did. We had a meeting at the Foreign Office with the Foreign Office officials.
Did we get anything?
Sadly, no.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an interesting question just now, whether the British government does anything for ZANU or not.